breaks my heart. It's very it's disturbing to my spirit. I have lots of my close family members that are TPS holders, and they're depending on this because they have kids to feed, and they've been in the U.S. for a long time, so this is literally their home.
The civil code, it's a wrong decision they make. Some of them, they like to live a terrible life when they go back in the country. They go back to country, terrible life. And they have to start over again, like zero.
So if you're not aware, the temporary protective status, TPS is what it's called, has been removed for, Haitians and Serenians, and it's a big conversation going on around it, and that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. Let me play the next video for you. Because we got a few videos to get through, so let me get to the next one before I start yapping and giving my commentary.
So the TPS situation, I spoke on it about the fact that 350,000 and 6,000 Haitians and 6,000 Syrians have to go back home. And I'm going to say to the Haitians who...
I think I said Syrians, yeah.
...are protesting and fighting and upset, and some of them are crying and just really upset what they told ethnic Americans, what they told us as indigenous foundational people, that you guys just have to work harder. Apparently, you didn't work as hard, you didn't work hard enough, and that's why the TPS is being rolled back. You just didn't work really hard. Also, you're not victims. So I don't think you should, protest. I don't think you should be crying because you say you don't complain. You say you don't complain and you're not victims. So I think you should stop complaining. I think you should stop doing all these interviews. I think you should stop going on news, interviewing about what's going on with you, because you're not victims and you don't complain. Remember what you told us? Remember what you told us? Stop being victims and stop complaining, and the fact that if we just worked hard, everything would be fine. Well, you're not victims. You shouldn't be complaining. Just work harder. You got rejected because you didn't work hard enough. And we just don't want to hear you complaining and crying because you're not victims. We're just tired of you acting like victims when you're not victims. Can you please stop being victims? Please stop complaining all the time. Gosh, it's just like all you guys do is complain. I mean, you had all this time to get your citizenship, and you had all this time to get your citizenship. You had all this time for your country to get together. Like, why don't you just get it together? Why didn't you just become a citizen? I just don't understand. It's just weird. It's just weird that you guys are complaining and victims, and you just should have worked hard. If you worked hard, they wouldn't have kicked you out.
I think it's very important that we don't allow our frustration with how we are treated to lead us into a state of lacking compassion. And as she was saying, there's been so much disrespect, and let's call it what it is, outright disrespect to, she said indigenous or Black Americans, to where people from other countries are really disrespectful to us, and they have these gross takes on us as a people, saying we're not working hard enough, or why are y'all acting like victims, why are you complaining? So what she's really doing is saying, the things y'all said about us, she's just throwing it back in their face. And I understand her frustration. I don't like those takes. That's why I called them gross and disrespectful. However, I don't want to lose my compassion for others. I don't want my heart to be hardened. It's important that we be careful. We can call those takes and the things that they've said about us gross and disrespectful, and still have compassion, because I don't think the people who say those things are, I don't want to say they're not the majority, but because that wouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to assess that, but they don't speak for everyone, and there are people in situations who are really striving to live their life, and move the needle forward with TPS. With this temporary protective status that didn't say those things. Like I said, I understand her pain. I've had, and I appreciate him to this day. An acquaintance, someone I knew, mentioned the stereotypes that were told to him as a child before he came over here from Haiti to America, and the things that they were saying about indigenous Black Americans, essentially, saying that we were lazy, saying that we were victims, we complain, that, just essentially taking a small percentage of what's put in the media about us and trying to make it our identity. Just going along with these smear campaigns about Black people here in America. And a lot of them come from their country, and they view us that way, and it's not right. And so she's speaking from that place. I understand her frustration. It is disgusting, it's disrespectful, but I do want the best for those who have these temporary protective statuses that have built their lives and their families here and want and need to be here. I can see both sides. So let's go to the next video, because I think this is a perfect example of what she's saying and why she said what she said in the previous video.
What's your background? You American? Dirty Black American?
Wait, what?
Huh? She just said that? I did. A dirty Black American.
See, these are some of the gross things that have been said and continue to be said about Black Americans, which is why some Black Americans don't have compassion for what's going on for Syrians and Haitians, because of the things that's been said about us. And this lady is looking at a camera on an international platform and calling us dirty Black Americans. This is a Haitian woman.
Sure did. Because that's what y'all are.
I had a conversation with my boy literally right before I got here. And then when I got on my phone with my boy, he was like, nah. Think about it, Rich. There's plenty of Haitians who say vieux salope. In Creole, that means like dirty or bad Black Americans.
When we have Frank here, we talk about the word akata. Like, it seems like everybody in the diaspora got specific terminology, detrimental or negative, degrading terminology
for Black Americans.
For Black Americans.
But
Nobody else.
I'll tell you why. What he said after. And he said, bro, Black Americans have no discipline.
I kind of appreciated her saying that, because these are conversations that are happening in the background. It's only because we have social media now that a lot of these conversations are coming to the forefront. These are conversations that they be having behind closed doors all the time, and maybe they get too comfortable, and then it slips up when you don't think it's that serious.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dirty Black Americans is so out of pocket. And it's sad when people don't realize that they've been indoctrinated to the degree that they're hating a people group that they know nothing about. They don't know history. It's obvious to me that either she's ignorant to history or is refusing to see us properly. Now, for one, we bleed the same blood. We bleed the same blood, and we all have dignity. And then two, the fact that to say something so vile, so ignorant, and again, I don't believe we should allow our hearts to become so hardened that we can't have compassion, right? And I think there's two things that we can do. We can have compassion and we can have conversations, right? And we can have the conversations to not check, but to correct the gross, these gross things that are being said about us in ways that let them know, hey, that's inappropriate. And that's not how you build an alliance. That's not how you come over and adapt properly with people who look like you, just from a different place. And I think it's great conversation. I do feel for those who are TPS holders and are in situations to where they may be sent back. I feel for them. I don't know what the process is to become a citizen, because I've always been a citizen. And I just hope those who our TPS holders and who built their lives here are able to get an opportunity. That's all I can say. Get an opportunity to get things in place. I think the TPS status have been in place for over a decade, for sure. And I don't know if they were waiting, because I don't know. Sometimes this stuff takes a while. I just hope, for justice. That's really it. But in terms of speaking to, the gross comments about Black Americans, it's not going to help your case, and it's not going to, like the fact that gentleman said out of his mouth, Black Americans aren't disciplined. That is one of the most ignorant statements. The other gentleman said, oh, yeah, I'm glad it's coming to the forefront. We're having these conversations. Like, I'm glad people are saying these things. But to me, it's also important to know that to say Black Americans don't have discipline is one of the most ignorant statements you can make. Like, the people who endured some of the most gross enslavement in history, built their own businesses, Wall Street, they burned these things down, their own education systems. There's still systems and things in place to destroy Black Americans, and we are still here, by the grace of God, miraculously conquering, being the first to do this, the first to do that. Think like stolen history that has been like hidden about things we've done. We are some of the most resilient people in the world. So to say we have no discipline is blasphemy. It's so gross, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so disgusting. And people, anyone who comes over here, and even if you live here, if you have gross things to say about Black people like that, you're ignorant. You're absolutely ignorant. Stupid, even. Like, I'ma call it what it is. There are so many intelligent, impactful Black people everywhere. I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole, but I'll leave it at this. To the TPS holders, I hope you are able to get justice and properly navigate that situation. And may God be with you all. And to those who speak ignorantly and gross about Black people, may you repent. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Connect with the brand online, where you can also grab merch at www.there'shopebrand.com. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.